Anyway, first let me say, I really don't like to talk that much. I really don't. I prefer to perform than talk, but... You know, let me just say this. The tradition of great performers from, and I really want you to hear what I have to say. The tradition of great performers from Sammy Davis Jr. to James Brown to Jackie Wilson to Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly. The story is usually the same though. You know, these guys work really hard at their craft, but the story ends the same. They usually are broken, torn, and usually just sad, and the story is very sad in the end because the companies take advantage of them. They really do. And Sony, being the artist that I am at Sony, I've generated several $1 billion for Sony, several billion, and they really thought that my mind is always on music and dancing, and it usually is, but they never thought that this performer, myself, would outthink them.
Yeah!
We can't let them get away with what they're trying to do because now I'm a free agent.
Yeah.
I just owe Sony one more album. It's just a box set, really. It's with 2 new songs which I've written ages ago. Because every album that I record, I write, like, literally, I'm telling you the truth, I write at least 120 songs every album I do. So I can do the box set and just give them any 2 songs. So I'm leaving Sony a free agent. Owning half of Sony. So I own half of Sony's publishing, and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because of it. But I just did good business, you know.
Tell him! Tell him, Michael! Tell the story!
But, so, the way they get revenge is to try and destroy my album. But I've always said, you know, good art never dies. Thank you. I love Unbreakable. You know, And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
Respect!
I'm not supposed to say what I'm going to say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
Say it.
So, please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Turn that off, please. No, what? I don't mind. Tape it.
Oh! Michael is getting gangster today! Yeah.
Mariah Carey, after divorce and time, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones, and he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being, and we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
Oh! There you go!
We can't allow him to do this to great artistry. We just can't. I just want you to know I appreciate everything you've done. You've been amazing. You're so loyal, Diana. Everybody, Waldo, all the people here, I love you all. You've been amazing.
Thank you!
I love you. But still, I promise you, the best is yet to come.
Whoa! That's the king of pop!
Everybody, the king of pop!
Michael Jackson has spoken to all of you today!
3 cheers for the king of pop! Hip hip!
Hip hip! Hip hip!
The now unreleased recordings of Michael Jackson. The King of Pop is said to have left behind a mountain of material. Music executive Tommy Mottola, who worked closely with Jackson at Sony Records for 15 years, considers himself the gatekeeper of Jackson's catalog. Tommy, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Matt.
Before I get to the unreleased material, you released a statement when Michael Jackson died. You said he is the most talented person you ever worked with. That's high praise.
I absolutely feel that way. I mean, when you look at every dimension of his career, whether it's the songwriting, the singing, the performing, the blending of rhythm and blues and pop into his own language, the dancing, the videos, the cutting-edge videos that defined the video age and really put MTV on the map. Michael Jackson in total was the single most talented person I've ever worked with.
So for all the years that he's putting together these albums, clearly there can only be 12, 14 songs on an album, and he was recording more. So these other songs are somewhere in a vault. Can you characterize that material for me? Is it great material, or did it not make the cut for a reason?
Well, for the 4 albums that I was around for with Michael, there was always over-recording. 12 to 14 songs would end up on the album, just as you said. There would probably be anywhere from 25 to 30 songs recorded. Those songs are still in the can, unreleased.
You've heard these songs?
I've heard a lot of them. I've heard many of them.
And
yes.
so what are we going to learn about Michael? What kind of music are we going to hear for the first time when these come out?
There are hidden gems. There are hidden gems in these songs. At the end of the day, the decision was Michael's, what to put on the album and what not. That doesn't mean that the songs that were not released were not as great as the hits that you know. So there could be a whole new life just from these songs alone.
What about the financial life of that? Is this the property of Sony? Is this the property of whatever record company he was working with at the time? Is this the property of the Jackson Family Trust?
At the moment, it's still the property of Sony, to my belief.
And so financially, does Sony Sony reap the rewards of that, or does the Jackson family trust really?
Ultimately, Sony and the Jackson family, because the Jackson family will receive royalty income from the sale of those recordings.
Again, as a music executive, what was it about Michael Jackson that allowed so many of his staunch fans to ignore the other headlines in his life, the controversy in his life, and continue supporting him, it seems, unconditionally?
His greatness, his uniqueness. It doesn't matter what genre of music, artist, or fan, whatever they like, they always looked up to Michael Jackson. I mean, it could be Bono, Bruce Springsteen, Madonna. They all revered Michael Jackson.
But in the years he was making headlines for all the wrong reasons, did that severely impact his marketability?
No one likes bad news. I think at one point in time, when the accumulation of all the bad news was there, it certainly did have an effect.
Tommy Mottola, obviously someone who worked with Michael a long time, 15 years.
Analyzing these
Thank you.
videos by commentators surfacing out there on YouTube about the music industry. This next clip is about the Illuminati and how they are trying to control your mind and the way you think through symbolism. And the commentator or the author of this stress how the Illuminati is using these to really control society, which once again it's possible, but it is not etched into stone. But once again, you be the judge. But the only thing I have to say about this is that a long time ago I was in Louisiana, and I was go to the music center. I was in the military at the time, U.S. Army. Would go to the music center to watch this group who was just like, it was back in the early 80s. They were just like Parliament. They dressed like them. The music was like them. And the leader of the band was from Missouri, somewhere. His name was Candyman. And then there was one of my homeboys from North Carolina, the guitarist. His name, if I'm not mistaken, was Ivan McAllister. And Ivan, if you're out there, brother, peace. Hope you're still serving the Lord like you was when I last talked to you. Had a really funny story to share with you all about that. But once again, Ivan wrote this song called The Symbols. And the lyrics went something like this, the chorus, like, the symbols of the earth is reality for those who see life the way it's supposed to be seen, clear and truly. And I guess if we use that as a motto, we can learn a lot just from that. I mean, you know, like DMX said in his interview, that don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read, and believe only half of what you see. And if you do that, you know, from an investigative standpoint, you should be okay. And this next clip talks about the president, President Obama, how he uses in his campaign. He used in his campaign this motto, yes we can,